Hello, everybody. Hope you are feeling good. My name is Emma, and I'm so glad that you are joining me for a nice full body stretch. We've got about 45 minutes, and we're going to do some nice kind of flowy movements today. So, not holding things for too long, not staying in one position the whole time, but kind of really moving as we breathe and trying to just get into all those little sweet spots that we know through our training, through our running, whether you're building up your mileage, whether you're just coming back down from a race, we know they build up, those little tensions. We all have them. So we're going to take a little bit of time today to reset, to have a big full body stretch, to let go of all of those little tweaks and tinges, and just enjoy, most of all. You do not need anything but yourself and your mat. If you don't have a mat, don't worry. You can do it on something that's maybe a bit softer, like a carpet. Maybe put a towel down on top. That'd be super if you don't have a mat with you. But otherwise, yeah, if you want to grab some water, go ahead. If you usually use things like blocks or straps or cushions, grab those too, but it's not necessary for today. It's not essential. When you are ready, pop your music on, press play, and we will get into it just by sitting kind of as I am, but any other comfy position if you fancy sitting cross-legged or sitting with your legs out in front. Just trying to stay upright through the crown of our heads. And we're going to start just here, taking a few deep breaths. So when you're ready, hands falling into your lap or maybe down by your sides, close your eyes and just start to bring yourself into this moment, into this place. Slowly settling down from anything you've been doing, bringing yourself with all of your focus, all of your attention just to where you are. There's nothing else you need to be doing right now, nowhere else you need to be. And on your next breath in, really start to feel like your chest is rising, expanding. Same with your tummy. You've got that long, deep breath down to our belly buttons. Slowly breathing out. It can still be through your nose. As you breathe out, just letting yourself kind of soften and release a little bit more. So maybe your shoulders start to come away from your ears. And now we're going to take 5 lovely big breaths all together. So breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth for now. Nice big breath in. Filling up as much as we can. A big sigh out. And make some noise. Take up space with these sighs. They're letting go. They're releasing. Deep breath in. Big sigh out. Inhale. And out. 2 more, breathing in. Exhale out. Last one, as big as we can go. And release. So now that we've had those big releasing inhales, exhales, again, just start to settle into your breath. So you don't have to have those big emphasized breaths. We can have our own rhythm, our own pace, but come back to your focus on your breathing whenever you know you can feel your mind starting to drift somewhere else. Just come back. Gently bring yourself to that awareness of your inhale, your exhale. Slow things down. And we're going to start by coming just into an all fours position. So moving, if you're not already, to kind of stay with that long side of your mat. So you're facing towards a short edge. And we're just in our all fours. And we're just going to start by circling through our ankles. I know it's often a place that we don't quite do a lot with, but if you're anything like me today, your ankles are clicking, and my toes. Lots of space, lots of stretch needed in my feet to my ankles, through my Achilles. And just have a little wiggle up through your shoulders, your waist, your back. We're moving straight from here into a downward facing dog. So when you're ready, toes tucking behind you, send your bottoms up and back. We're lifting our hips high, and we're just going to pedal out our feet. Get a little bit of space through the back of our legs. Doesn't matter if your knees are bent, if your heels are off the mat like this is fine. As long as we can still feel the stretch through the back of our legs, then we're good. We are great, in fact. We're going to do some rolls, some kind of little folds forwards into a high plank from where you are. So lifting up as high as you can onto your tiptoes, and then really starting to curl through your spine to make your way into a plank, bending your knees, hips shift up and back. So a few more of those as you lift up high onto your tiptoes, start to round through lower back all the way to your shoulders, and then release. 3 more, this time breathing in as you roll forwards. Exhale, shift your hips up and back. Inhale to the top and back. Last time, breathing in, coming all the way back into this high plank. And then lifting up to our downward dog. Again, have a little shuffle with your legs. Bend your knees to come back down onto our all fours position. We can shake out our wrists from here if they are already starting to feel those planks in our downward dogs. Moving into some cat-cows now. So we've already started to loosen up through our spines. Just taking it that bit further, lowering our tummies down, big roll of our shoulders as we lift our chest to the front, look forwards. And then rolling up that big curve, big rounding of our backs again. As you breathe in, make your way back to the front, lifting your chest. Breathing out, rounding, curling through your spine, belly button going as high as it can. Inhale back to the front. Exhale to the top, curling through. One more time, moving forward, shoulders rolling down your back, chest lifting. Exhale, lifting to the top. Coming back down to neutral. And then again, just having that little sway, kind of rocking through our bodies, maybe a little bend in your elbow or elbows. And starting just to move, perhaps in some circles, take your hips back towards your heels, round to the sides. I want you to really close your eyes here and just imagine that you are finding those little sweet spots. You're moving into every little nook and cranny through your shoulders, your back, rolling through. You can go slow, you can speed things up. There's no one here, just you. And you are moving in any way that feels good. Really exaggerate. Find that space, those little tiggly, tiny little muscles. Okay, maybe you got some clicks and clunks there. If you did, enjoy them. We're going to come back up into our downward facing dog. So back to neutral, hands have a nice strong base in front of us, fingertips spread apart. It's really trying to do this onto your mat. So you've got all the space between your fingertips. Toes tucking behind us, bottom back to our heels and lifting back up to this downward dog. Again, you can have a pedal out with your feet, move left and right, have a little sway side to side. This time we're going to take our feet a bit wider. So possibly about mat width apart, maybe just a little bit in from the sides of your mat, depending on what's comfy for you. We're going to come back to those rolls forwards, but add a little bit more space into our hips this time on the way back to our downward dog. So we still come up onto our tiptoes, and then we really draw in through our core to make our way to a high plank. From here, we're sending our hips back towards our heels, knees stay lifted, and then up to the top. Now, if we have just done a hard run, a big run, please do take those knees back down if it's too much on your quads. This is not trying to be a power session. We're not trying to build up those muscles right now. We're trying to release things. So if it's too intense, you can bring your knees down, keep the hips back, and you're still going to find that nice space through your legs. So we're going for 5 of these rolls forwards. Number 1, lifting up as high as you can onto your toes. Big roll to the front, knees bend, hip shift back. Pausing for a second to find the space and then lifting up, downward dog. Number 2, rolling forwards, come up high, curl through your chest, not your chest, your back. Hips go behind us and up. For 3, come forwards, all the way back. And lifting high for 4. Exhaling as you lift back to the top. Last time for 5. Breathing in, make your way to the top. Exhale, come back. And up. Again, have a little shake out through your legs. Little roll of our shoulders. We're once more going back down onto our mat. Knees bend to the ground, toes untuck. Bottom back to our heels, just rolling yourself back to a kneeling position. Sitting up nice and tall. If you want to shake your shoulders out, your wrists. Again, as I said, it's not meant to be that power flow. We're really just trying to find a little bit more space as we move rather than hold static postures today. Now I'm going to come and face you, but you guys can stay in the same direction you're in if you have enough space around you, or feel free to move as we come into some side stretches. So looking at our waists and all the way down through the sides of our ribs. For now, we're going to take our left hand over to the side, fingertips on the ground, right arm sweeps over the top of us. We're leaning toward this left side and looking up to our right fingertips. Deep breath in, softening out to kind of reach that little bit further. Use your exhale. Next breath in, lifting all the way up, going to the other side. Right fingertips come down, left arm sweeps up and over us. Looking up past our elbow, maybe towards your fingers. Exhale to find more space. Inhale, lift back to the top, taking it again. Left hand either on your fingers, maybe on your hand, or if you wish, coming down to your forearm, a bit bigger through that stretch, reaching right arm over the top. Inhale, come back through seated and over to our right side, whichever variation, whichever height you went to, match that same one here. Back to the top. We'll take that same thing one more time. Forearm, maybe your hand, maybe your fingertips come down. Right arm lifting across. This time we're going to roll ourselves forward. So bring your right fingertips out to the side and then taking a big semicircle, arms reaching out in front of us, moving over to the right side, stretching through our left side waist. Same again, come back over to this left side, left hand or forearm down, right fingertips reaching. This time, can we step our right leg out to the side? This is where you may have needed that extra bit of space. Moving if you need to. Bring your right leg back in, come back round that half semicircle, all the way across, lifting your left leg up and out to the side, stretching. Bringing your leg in, semicircle back to the other side. This time, hand stays down, not your forearm. Right leg steps out, staying here just for a moment, deep breath. When you're ready, pressing through left side of your shin, squeezing our glutes, moving into this supported world thing. So our hips are open, we've got space. We're coming all the way back down. Bring your foot in closer, rolling to the other side. Deep breath in. Oops, on my forearm, meant to be on my hand, lifting through your arm. Send your foot out to the side, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Coming back to kneeling. Okay, now I've got that bit more space, got a bit more fluidity through our tummies, through our waists, our hips. We're going to just try and do that with a little bit more pace. So it's not about the power, it's about really breathing as we move. So left hand comes down, right leg goes out. Deep breath in, lifting your hips up. Exhale, come down, come back to kneeling and go across the other side. Inhale, lifting through your chest. Leg goes out to the side, chest open, hips high. Exhale, back to kneeling, over to the other side. Right leg lifts. Exhale, come down. Inhale, switch. Exhale, come down. One more each side. Left arm lowers down, right leg extends. Exhale, come back to center, right hand down, left leg open. And back to center, nice. Okay, give your shoulders a wiggle, your hips a wiggle. A little bit more space through our chest now when you are ready. Arms coming out in front of you. So we're spreading our fingers again, taking your elbows out to the side in a big cactus shape. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Big breath in. Big breath out, curling through our backs, forearms coming together in front of us. 2 more, breathing in as we lift and lengthen through our front of our chests. Exhale, rounding. 1 more time, breathing in. Exhale, go round, curl. Opening back out. Bring your hands down by your sides, give your shoulders a roll. Coming back to be parallel with the long edges of our mat if you're not already. Back into all fours, moving up into our downward dog 1 more time. So we're done with those ripples forwards. Shoulders have a little roll, legs can have a wiggle. We're going to walk our feet up closer towards our hands. When you get there, deep breath in, lift through your chest. Exhale, fold back down. One more, breathing in as we lift our chest, shoulders roll back. Exhale, fold. Next, inhale, little bend of our knees, rolling all the way up to standing. Reach your fingertips high, join your hands at the top. Hands coming down towards our chest. Now I'm incorporating a little bit of balance through this bit, but mainly trying to find our way into those lunges. So if we're wobbly, that's okay. Do not worry. You can use a wall next to you, or if you end up putting both feet down, that's cool. Just step back to wherever you need to go to. Next breath in, arms go all the way up. Your right knee is going to also lift, holding here, squeeze through those left glutes. And then slowly stepping our way back with our right foot so it goes behind us. So we're ending in this lunge position, right heel pressing away, chest lifting, lowering ourselves down into a low lunge. Right toes stay tucked, chest stays open. Start to straighten through left knee, toes lift off the ground, hips going backwards as fingertips come down. So we're in a half split here. Deep breath in. Leaning yourself forward as you breathe out. Inhale to lift. Exhale, fold. Moving back up into this low lunge. Toes plant down ahead of you. Breathing in, arms reach up high. Exhale, hands around your back. Interlace your fingers. Big roll of our shoulders, chest lift, gaze lifts. Release, hands come down, framing our left toes, lifting your right knee off the ground and then stepping ourselves back into a downward dog. Repeating that on the other side. So walking our toes, first of all, up to meet our hands at the top. As you breathe in, chest lift, shoulders roll, coming up about halfway. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lift, shoulders roll. Exhale to fold. Next time, breathing in, little bend of our knees, uncurling up towards the top to standing. Bring your hands together and release back down. Okay, matching where we were on the other side. Arms reach back up as we breathe in. Left knee lifts. Holding here just for a moment, pausing. And then we're stepping our left leg back. Toes land behind us. Heel stays lifted, chest open and proud. When you're ready, start to bend through your back knee, lower your knee down to the ground. Just finding that lift through our chest, stretching through this left side of our hip flexor. So really trying to lean our hips forwards, squeezing our glutes. Find that stretch, that feeling. Hands coming around your back, interlace your fingers, shoulders roll, chest lift, gaze goes up. Releasing your hands forward, send your hips back, toes lifting off the ground. As you breathe in, lift your chest. Exhale, fold. Breathing in to lift. Exhale to lower. Maybe you walk your hands a little bit further away, further out in front of you. Making our way back into our low lunge. Fingertips go high. Squeeze those glutes, space in your hips. Exhale, hands come down. Frame your toes. Lifting your left knee off the mat. Send your right foot behind you into a downward dog. Shoulders roll. Have that space through your legs, through your arms. Looking up towards our fingers again. Some little steps to the tops of our mats. Deep breath in as we open up through our chest. Exhale, fold forwards. One more breathing in, find the space. Exhale, fold down into it. Let yourself hang heavy here. This time, perhaps holding onto the backs of our legs, drawing ourselves super, super close in. Tummies, chest, thighs, all connecting. Letting go, unwrap your hands as you breathe in, lifting up to standing. Fingertips go up to the top. Exhale, hands down to our chests. Okay, building on that last little bit of our flow, taking your arms all the way up, fingertips reach. Right knee lifts. Stepping back into our high lunge. Can we go a little bit lower into our legs this time? From here, starting to straighten through left knee. Reach your fingertips forward. You might be a little bit wobbly. Go slow and steady. Fingertips coming down either onto your mat, or you can use a block if you have one, or you can just bring your hands onto your shin. So if we're not quite there with this full fold down, hands to shin is perfect. Deep breath in, chest lifts. Exhale, fold. Might be a bit tingly through the back of our left leg. One more breath in. All the way out. Good. Bend into your left knee, hands onto the ground, stepping back, downward dog. You may get some more space through the back of your left leg from here. Walking your toes up to the top of your mat, breathing in halfway. Exhale, come down. One more breathing in, shoulders roll. And release. This time holding on to opposite elbow, have a little sway, side to side. Just use that weight. Hold it in your arms. Let your upper body really fall forwards. Letting go, hands down. Next breath in, we roll all the way up. Fingertips reach to the top as we breathe in. Exhale, hands down to your chest. Okay. Next side, we are lifting up with our fingertips, reaching tall, breathing in. Left leg lifts, knee comes up to about hip height. Stepping slow and controlled back into our high lunge, shoulders away from our ears. Can we go that little bit further down? Very nice job stretching into your hips. Ready for our fold forwards. We're straightening through right leg, starting to lean, fingertips reaching as far as they can. So we're not just kind of holding here and going like, yeah, I'm down. We're using this whole space. And this is where it does get to that wobbly bit because we're finding those edges. Leaning down when you are ready, hands wherever you went to last time, shin, a block, your mat. Breathing in, lifting halfway. And fold. One more breathing in. And out. Bending into our legs, hands onto the ground. Stepping back to not a high plank, into a downward facing dog. Pedal out through your knees. Shoulders rolling away from our ears. Trying to really press our chest up and back. Find that big stretch through your calves. If you're anything like me, your calves are always going to be tight. So let's use this downward dog. Take that moment, take this time. Knees bending now, coming down onto the ground, toes untucked. From here, bringing our chests, our tummies, our hips down onto the ground as well. Let your hands fall in front of you like a little pillow. Just holding on for a moment, staying still, being heavy. No tension. Take a couple deep breaths. Starting to lift ourselves up into our forearms. Then we're going to wiggle them quite close towards us. So our chest's lifted, moving into this Sphinx pose. Hands are down, forearms are down. Rolling your shoulders back, lift through your chest, face forwards. Squeezing through our back muscles and trying to find a space all the way from our belly buttons up to the base of our necks. Release, come back down, have a little shake out through your hips, your waist, your bottoms. Have a wiggle. Moving back into that Sphinx pose when we're ready. Palms, forearms pressing down into the ground. Roll your shoulders back, lift through your chest. And release, slowly folding forwards. Hands now sliding to come just in front of our shoulders. Pressing yourself back to move into a child's pose. So knees coming underneath us if they're not already. Bottoms go back to heels. Folding your upper body just over the top of your thighs. Let your head come down between your arms. Maybe it rests on your mat or on the ground. Maybe it just kind of hangs between. Feeling this little bit of a rounding through our backs, through our spines. Take a deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Good. Okay, lifting through our chest. Just that little bit of time to reset for a moment there. Lifting back into your all fours position, toes tucking, hips going up high to your downward facing dog. Once more, looking towards our hands. One more little round through our flow. Deep breath in, shoulders rolling back as you walk your feet up towards your hands. When you get there, breathing in, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, sinking down. Next breath in, rolling all the way up. Big lift, fingertips to the top, look high. Exhale, hands down to our chest. As we breathe in, sweeping your arms back to the top, right knee lifts. Exhale, step back. Going low into our legs, back into our low lunge from here. This time you can just stay as you are. Maybe you want to bring your hands onto the front of your left leg and try and really lean further into it. That may be too intense, so please go to wherever you need to go. Remember, we're trying to find those edges and just hold ourselves there and ease ourselves into it. If you're finding any pain, if you're really hitting those edges of your limits, we're not trying to get to that point. We're trying to find that ease, that slow stretch. So again, we can either have our hands here and use it as a little bit of support. If you wish, if it's not like you've got too much of a hard floor on the ground, you can take hold of your right toes, your foot behind you, and try and draw your heel closer towards your hips. It's going to give a deeper stretch through the front of our right quad. So really leaning into that space. Might be quite intense. Deep breath. Softening on your exhale, taking one more breath in and out. Moving ourselves forwards, hands down onto the ground, stepping yourself back into a downward dog. And then we will walk our feet back to the top of our mats, breathing in, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, down. Next breath in, rolling all the way up. Little bend in your knees as you make your way all the way to standing, hands together. Exhale, hands down to your chest. Breathing in, lifting back to the top, left knee lifts. Exhale, step back into your high lunge. Oops, I'm off the mat. That's okay, we can be off the mat. Sinking a little bit down into our legs, lowering our left knee when we're ready. Trying to, again, use that squeeze of our glutes to find the space through the front of our left thigh. Hands maybe coming onto your right leg to kind of help you with that support, or maybe bending a little bit deeper into left leg, holding onto your foot, your knee, not your knee, your toes, and trying to just lower or ease yourself, stretch further into this space. Deep breath. Chest is proud. Letting go, hands coming down, frame your toes, stepping back into our downward facing dog. Bending your knees, toes untucked behind us, come back into your child's pose, little rock perhaps side to side. Slowly lifting ourselves all the way back to seated, shoulders rolling, hands coming out one side, legs going out the other direction. We've done lots of forward folds as we stand up, but this is our first kind of full forward fold from seated. So you can wiggle those fleshy parts of our bottoms out of the way. Feet are out in front of us, toes pointing back towards you. Deep breath in as we lift up through our arms, fingertips reach. Exhale, folding towards your toes, maybe holding onto your shins, maybe it's your ankles, maybe it is your toes, and you're kind of really able to hold onto them with your fingers. It is up to you, see where you're at. We're aiming not for this kind of really crunched over feeling. We're trying to find some space in your chest. So even if that means you come up a little bit higher, for me, this is where I'm at right now. I'm not going to fold all the way forwards and find that rounding space because I want to use this stretch to stretch into the rest of my back, into my lower back, and into the back of my legs. So that's where I'm aiming for it to go. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Softening your way down for 2 more. Slowly rolling ourselves back to the top. Hands are coming behind us now. We're going to plant our feet in front of us and come into a reverse tabletop. So just shuffling your hips slightly further away from your fingers, pressing through your feet, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips all the way up, chest open, looking up to the top of your ceiling, and release, come back down. Give your shoulders a bit of a wiggle, take that one more time, pressing into our feet, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. It's got a nice big intense stretch through the front of our arms here, bit of a tingle down to our fingers, and release all the way down. Keep your right leg in, send your left leg out long. We're going to bring our right foot up and over our left thigh. If your toes are just touching the ground rather than your whole foot, that's absolutely fine. Stay there. Wrapping your left arm around your right leg. Give it a big squeeze, a big cuddle close towards your chest. Right hand comes around behind us, fingertips on the ground. Rolling your shoulders to turn your chest, turn your gaze back over your right arm, right shoulder. Twisting. Deep breath in. Space as you breathe out. Slowly moving back to the front. We're going to shuffle our knee now. So maybe just wiggling your right ankle to try and bring it a bit closer towards this left hip. So your knee is aiming to point in the same direction as your toes. Doesn't matter if it's a bit off, that is absolutely okay. Deep breath in. Lifting tall, growing all the way up. Exhale, fold forwards, fingertips again to your shin, ankle, toes. This one might be a little bit more intense through the back of your left leg. And again, because we're kind of restricted this time in terms of how low we can get to with our leg just in front of us, it actually means that we're focusing a little bit more on that lifted chest. Long spines, space into our lower back, into the back of our left legs. Slowly rolling ourselves up. Bringing your right foot onto the mat. Left hand even down. Pressing into this right foot, coming back up into that wild thing position, but this time a little bit more space. So we're squeezing through our glutes. Left leg is out long, right arm is extended behind us. And release, come back down. We'll switch to the other side. Right leg goes long, left knee hugs in. Up and over our right thigh, toes, foot on the ground. Big squeeze, hug it close towards your chest. Left fingertips are behind you, rolling back through your shoulder. Again, just make it dramatic, make it exaggerated. Big roll, big twist, big rotation. Looking back over our left shoulder as you breathe in, grow that little bit taller. Exhale, twisting further into it. We should feel it through our glutes on this side. So a nice big stretch deep into those muscles. One more breath in. And out. Slowly turning back to face the front. Again, moving into this shuffle. So just wiggling your left ankle a bit closer to your hip. You might find that one side works perfectly and the other side is like, nope, not today. That is okay. We are all a little bit imbalanced. Breathing in as you lift up tall, fingertips to the top. Exhale, fold forwards. Just like you did before, finding that stretch through your leg while your chest stays lifted. All the length in our backs, all the space we have created through our spines, through our shoulders, our chest, sides of our waist, and through the back of your legs. One more breath in. Slowly out. Starting to lift ourselves back up. Bring your left foot back up and over. Once more coming into our wild thing. So left foot is planted down. Right hand is behind us. We're pressing down through our feet, lifting through our glutes, our hips, sending left arm back behind you. And lower back down. Soften onto your mat. Both feet coming onto the ground again. That reverse tabletop. One more try. Fingertips facing that same direction as your toes. Shoulders roll back, big lift through your chest. Squeezing glutes, hips go to the top. If you can stay here, if you wish, take it one step further. Bit more stretch, bit more intensity. Take your toes out in front into a reverse plank. And release, hips come down, everybody coming back into this final fold. Back where we were a moment ago, breathing in, arms lift. Exhale, fingers to your toes, ankles, shins, guide your chest down. If you have a block in front, maybe you want to hold on to that instead. If you have a strap that you normally use, feel free to use that, then wrap it around your toes. Guide your chest forwards and down. Closing your eyes here, coming back to our slow, steady breathing rhythm. One more deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Starting to roll yourself up to seated. Shoulders going back. Take that big roll through your arms. Maybe you're circling through your ankles, your wrists. We're going to finish up with a nice Shavasana. And I know it's so tempting to switch off right now and go and do whatever else you need to do. But please do take your time just for these last few moments, these last few minutes. I promise it is worth it. Bring yourself down onto the ground. Find a comfy position. That may not be lying down on your back. It might be lying on your side. It might even be lying on your front. However you feel comfy, maybe have a little wiggle. Find the spot that works for you. If it's a bit chilly where you are right now, feel free to quickly grab a blanket or a jumper. And then closing your eyes and just letting yourself sink down into the ground with every single breath out. Listening perhaps to the music or to sounds around you. Focusing on your breath in, slow exhale. Just give yourself these last few moments. If your mind starts to wander, starts to drift, no judgment, just bring it back. Let go. Come back to your breathing. And if you do want to stay here for a little bit longer, please do. Turn me off. You stay. You have a nice time. And you're ready to start waking up again. Bring some movement into your fingers, your toes. Start to circle through your wrists and ankles. Let your head even rock left and right, side to side. Moving into a full body stretch, arms reaching back, toes pointing forwards, big lift through our chests. Knees coming closer in towards you, arms wrap around your shins, curling up into a little ball. Noticing how you are doing, how you are feeling right now. And slowly, gently lifting yourself back up. Coming up to a comfy seated position, whatever that is for you, eyes still closed, or just in a soft gaze down in front. You can be kneeling, cross-legged, whatever's good. Take your shoulders away from your ears, grow tall through the crown of your head. Taking one big releasing breath before we finish. Lovely inhale in. And a big sigh out. Put a beautiful smile onto your faces. Thank you so, so much for being here with me today, for enjoying that practice. I hope you feel good. I hope you feel a little bit looser, a bit more fluid. And I'll see you very soon. If you have any questions, do text me, message me, whatever you fancy. I'm around somewhere. But yeah, if you need anything from me, please do let me know. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. Bye.